Welcome to Across Africa, our weekly look at stories from across the continent. I'm Georgia Calvin-Smith, and this week, Doctors Without Borders. We hear from some of the Cameroonian medical students who've headed to Madagascar for their training. At the end of their intense period of study, they'll take their hard-earned qualifications and skills back home. Also, videos from a Guinean TikToker based in Senegal have been taking social media by storm. Hakime is literally chasing fame, as you can see. His comic skits have made him one of West Africa's most popular content creators. And Chanel collaborates with West African embroidery artists to put on a spectacular exhibition of needlecraft and creation in Dakar, the latest indication of growing international acknowledgement of African creative clout. But first, increasingly, young men and women from Cameroon are moving to Madagascar for their studies. Over the years, the reputation of the island's higher education system has drawn more attention from other African countries, particularly in fields like medicine. Our correspondent went to meet some of the Cameroonian students who've headed out a long way from home for their training.
There are close to 300 medical students crammed into this lecture theatre. Paulin, the 23-year-old Cameroonian, is among them. He travelled 5,000 kilometres to study at Antananarivo University and pursue his dream of becoming a doctor.
We blend in well. We feel at home here.
He twice failed to get into medical school back home, but applied successfully to get a place here in Madagascar. After successfully passing his exams, he is now in his third year. Getting into medical school and retaining a place is harder in Cameroon. This has been a key factor in attracting some 50 Cameroonian medical students to Madagascar, where diplomas can be earned that are also recognized back home.
I have older brothers who studied medicine in Madagascar. They explained to me that there is really high-quality medical teaching here.
ASICAM, an association for Cameroonian students in Madagascar, has been helping new students here since 1992. As well as organising cultural, sporting and humanitarian activities, the club helps its 200 members tackle some of the difficulties of studying in a foreign system.
The first difficulty we have in Madagascar is that our medical students can't take part in competitive exams that would allow them to specialise in a particular field. The second difficulty, which is more of a challenge, is the problem of getting a visa. A one-year visa costs €350. We'd like it to be cheaper. Our parents fight body and soul.
All the Cameroonian medical students here rely on parental support because they aren't allowed to work while studying. And although they are grateful for the opportunities Madagascar affords them and feel at home here, they are also prohibited from practicing medicine on the island after graduation.
A Guinean hairdresser called Hakime has become one of the most followed TikTokers in West Africa. From his base in the Senegalese capital, he creates slapstick content that's been watched around the world. Take a look.
Hakime spends most days working as a hairdresser. The 24-year-old Guinean, who has lived in Senegal since 2019, likes to get creative on the job.
This is a 3-line fade. Here is the first, the second, and the third. Styling here is very cool. It comes naturally to me.
But Hakime is better known as a creator of viral videos on the social media platform TikTok. Most of his clips follow the same slapstick formula. Disguised with a trademark white beard, he chases troublemakers through the sandy streets of the Dakar suburbs. This act has made him a star.
He brings joy and enthusiasm to the neighborhood. He likes the kids and the kids adore him. They all follow him on TikTok.
It's a pleasure to see the kids behind me, their parents too. It's great to have everyone behind me. I do my best. I put in a lot of effort and God has rewarded me.
Hakime is one of the most popular TikTokers in Africa with 5 million followers and videos that notch up as many as 120 million views. He and his team hope to achieve global recognition.
We will go far. We don't want to limit ourselves to Africa. We want to bring our art to the world.
I dream of doing a chase scene stretching from Dakar to Paris. My friends and I speak about that every day, but we don't have the means to do it. One day we will, though.
Hakime has trips planned to the Gambia and Côte d'Ivoire this month to meet adoring fans.
Weeks after staging a groundbreaking fashion show in Dakar, French luxury brand Chanel has draped itself once again in Senegalese skill and style. The brand co-hosted an exhibition celebrating the flair and precision of the country and the continent's needlework. It features a breathtaking display of weaving and embroidery from about 20 artists from across West Africa. Caroline Lambolet has stitched this one together.
Portraits made with thousands of stitches. Malian artist Alassane Koné revisits scenes from daily life. He takes photos of people on the street and comes back to his studio to reproduce what he's seen.
My inspiration comes from my environment. The connections we form are like threads too. When I make my art, it's like forming connections with threads, because I mix colors.
He's one of around 20 artists, most of them from West Africa, exhibiting their work at the Sur le Fil exhibit in Dakar. The exhibit is centered on embroidery and weaving crafts, but it also brings together artists from other disciplines, such as painting and photography. It's a collaboration between Chanel and its 19M workshop in Paris, and the Institut Fondamental d'Afrique Noire in Dakar. The idea is to host workshops and debates to help foster artisanal work.
We either chose artists who already use methods and techniques related to artisanal crafts in their work, or we called on artists whose work could be combined with certain craftsmen who use local techniques and methods, some of which have been used for years and years.
In December, Chanel held a fashion show in Dakar, a first for the luxury fashion house on the African continent.
And not long ago, Lagos hosted its second ever anime festival. Although anime films originated in Japan, the genre has a big following in Nigeria. And over 1,000 fans, many dressed as their favourite characters from films, video games and TV shows, turned out to share their enthusiasm with their community. Laurent Berstecker tells us more.
Sporting their most vibrant kimonos, hundreds of young Nigerians converged on the Lagos Event Center for the second edition of the Echo Anime Festival. It was Nigeria's biggest event for Japanese culture and animation enthusiasts, and one which was long overdue, according to organizers.
We realized that there really wasn't any convention or festival like an anime fest in the whole of Nigeria. So we thought, why don't we start this, because we have a whole community.
Anime is extremely popular in Nigeria, where many grew up watching shows like Naruto and Pokemon. Today it's become even more accessible, with thousands of these manga-inspired animated series now readily available online. For many fans, conventions like the Echo Festival are an opportunity to make elaborate and dazzling costumes of their favorite characters, a practice known as cosplaying. But it's also a rare chance to meet and socialize with other anime lovers who share a common passion.
I love anime because anime imitates life. There's an anime for everybody and everything. If you like sports, there's an anime for sports. If you like horror movies, action movies, romance, fairy tales, there's an anime for you.
After a successful second edition, organizers hope the Echo Anime Festival can become a yearly tradition and encourage more Nigerians to embrace their inner otaku.
And vintners in South Africa have come up with a quacking solution to keep bugs off their vines. Ducks have been out on patrol, keeping their beady eyes on the precious produce. Caroline Lambolet with more.
There's no need for pesticides at this vineyard in South Africa. Every day, around 500 ducks hunt for snails and bugs before retiring for the evening.
We call them the soldiers of the vineyards. As they go through the vineyards, they eat all the small insects. So So we don't have to spray for any pests in the vineyards. They keep them pest-free. They are the caretakers at the end of the day of our vineyards.
They're known as Indian runner ducks. With their long legs and necks, they're able to stand upright instead of waddling. This means they can reach for snails between the leaves as they conduct their daily patrols, often led by one of their own.
Runner ducks are very well trainable. They soon get into the routine, so it's not very difficult to get them in the vineyards in the morning. We do have 2 or 3 people that herd them on their own pace. They go off into the vineyards and they know very well when it's time to go home.
The ducks also provide natural fertilizer for the soil and entertainment for visitors.
It's amazing how they behave themselves, walk in the row, and it's like they're in the army or whatever. Yeah, no.
The vineyard also follows other environmentally conscious practices, such as drip irrigation, a system which allows water to drip slowly and directly to the root to minimize evaporation.
Well, that's it for Across Africa for now. Thanks for joining us. Do so again. Take care.